Well, thank you everyone for coming to this Lunch and Learn. We are Fancy Face Skin Clinics, which is an advanced skincare studio where we only do facial treatments. We're focused, targeted, using medical grade skincare. So we do facial treatments that target specific conditions. This talk is going to be about sun protection for Skin Cancer Awareness Month. So we're going to be talking specifically about what you can do to protect your skin from all the UV rays, in addition to obviously the sun, but what you're getting from your smartphones and your laptops, etc. So to start, one of the exercises that we wanted to have everybody do is pull out your phones. Okay. No worries. Oh, okay. All right, well, this is an assignment for later then. You've got your phone. Look at you with all the phones. Okay, so there's a website called projectsunscreen.com. Okay, now if you were to just visit that website with me, again, it is projectsunscreen.com. Very simple. So what that website does, it basically tells you what the UV index is on any location that you're at. So what you would do is enter Grand Cayman in the
project what?
sunscreen.com. Yeah. So then you would enter Grand Cayman in the bar that says location, or wherever you are in the world, whether you're in Switzerland or London or whatever. Okay. And then it'll tell you what the current UV index is on that day in that location. So Cayman right now is at 10.5, which is very high. If you scroll on that page, if you scroll up on that page, you'll see 8 to 10. What that means is very high. It means extra protection needed. You need to be especially careful outside, especially late morning through mid-afternoon. It says stay in the shade as much as possible, especially during late morning through mid-afternoon. Wear broad spectrum SPF with zinc and wear protective clothing. So this just kind of tells you how much radiation is in the air on that day. So this helps you to kind of plan and know how much exposure you're getting, okay? So with that, I want to hand over the stage to my advanced esthetician, Alicia, and she's actually going to be talking to you about all the skincare tactics and all the skincare statistics that you need to know, as well as answering all of your questions specific to sun protection. So Alicia, everybody.
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. So the first topic that I want to touch down on is how is skin cancer caused? What is the cause of skin cancer? And
voice is so soft.
It's sorry,
The fan behind us.
And the big thing how skin cancer is caused is having unprotected exposure to the sun. And what that means is you are coming out in the sun, you are exposing your skin to UV, which is ultraviolet rays, and you are not using any sun protection, no SPF whatsoever. And what it does, the UV damages the cells in our skin. And as the skin tries to repair the damaged cells, it begins to have mutations with the cells and causes triggers of overproduction and abnormal cells. And at this point, the end result is it will result in skin cancer. One of the main types of skin cancer.
That's also ominous.
What's that, sorry?
Is that will result or can result?
No, it will.
Will?
It will, because the ultraviolet rays are constantly damaging the skin. And this is why we need to be using something to create a barrier and protect the skin. So it will. It will. This is why you see a lot of people that don't use sun protection, not in the beginning, but over the years, you start seeing a lot of hyperpigmentation on the face because from the beginning is damaging the skin. Yes. So then end result will be developing cancerous cells. And there's many forms of skin cancer, but one of the main ones I would say that people are most common of is melanoma. So that is one of the skin cancers that can be presented on the skin. Now, how to prevent skin cancer? The biggest one, you know what I'm going to say, is wearing SPF. Yes, wearing SPF. I would advise minimum factor 30. Once you're using factor 30, this is really creating a good base and a good protection on the skin. Anything above that is better, but minimum 30. Another factor about SPF that people don't know is that people feel that SPF lasts all day. So you will put it on in the morning and be like, okay, that's it. I've got my protection for the day. No. SPF actually only lasts 2 hours. You need to be reapplying your SPF every 2 hours, if possible. If possible.
But if you're not in the sun,
It doesn't matter.
What if you're in bed with the windows closed?
What's that, sorry?
What if you're in bed with the blind closed?
If you're in your bed with your
Sun exposed.
no, if you're in your bed with the blinds closed, that's okay, as long as you're not on devices. And I will touch down on that a little bit later. So if you're in your bed and you're scrolling on your phone, you should actually be wearing SPF. But I'm going to get back to that a little bit later on in the talk. Another way that we can help reduce preventing skin cancer is by going in the shade, reducing the amount of sun exposure we have. As we are on an island, that is very hard to do, but the only option is going in the shade when we can. I would say a well-balanced diet, but the key point is antioxidants is what helps repair the skin, rebuild the skin, maintain the skin. So that would be found in certain fruits and vegetables. So that will help. Protective clothing such as caps, sun hats, sunglasses, long sleeve top, trousers. And then there's another type of clothing called UPF, which is Ultra Protect Factor clothing. And that particular clothing will have a lining that will protect with UV rays as well. So then I'm going to explain about sunscreen. There's 2 types of sunscreen. Yes. So we have chemical, and like you said, we have mineral, also known as physical. So this sunscreen here is our physical sunscreen. With the sunscreen, you will find that it does contain, one of the main ingredients is zinc oxide. And with this sunscreen in particular, it's very good to use on the face because it creates a barrier on the skin. So it sits on the surface of the skin. It creates a shield and a barrier every 2 hours.
So no matter the type, it's still 2 hours.
Doesn't matter the type, still 2 hours.
So do you have a spray version of it? Because like nobody can put sunscreen over their makeup. You have to put it on your
We don't carry a spray, but yes, as we know in the market, there's many different consistencies of SPF. There is cream, there is spray, there is foam, there is mousse. Yes.
tinted?
We carry untinted, so we can cater for everyone.
Isn't it better to have tinted?
It's better if you wear makeup daily, yes.
No, is it better if your sunscreen is tinted though?
No, not necessarily.
Really?
Yeah. Not necessarily. The key ingredients that you want in your SPF is mineral ingredients, which is why we say physical is also a mineral ingredient, which is like I said, titanium dioxide and then zinc oxide. They're the main ingredients that you want in your SPF. And then we have our chemical sunscreen, which is found in brands, for example, like Hawaiian, Tropicana, and them sunscreens are really good. They absorb into the skin and sink into the skin like a sponge. So they're good for the body, and they're good if you're like in and out, you're swimming, you know, you're doing a lot of water activities. As it's getting really absorbed into the skin, it's really good for the body. So you know, that's when them brands will come into place, and I would advise that you use it on the body, but definitely physical sunscreen on the face, I definitely would advise for better protection. And then we have our handouts here. So within these handouts, obviously I'll give you a chance to read it later, but we have UVB and UVA. These are just different types of sun rays that are found within the sun. And the difference between the two is that the UVB is what causes the skin to burn. This is what causes the skin to burn and to get the hyperpigmentation. And the UVA is what ages the skin, causes the loss in collagen and elasticity in the skin. So that's the effects that the rays are having on the skin specifically.
Did you feel more positive if you have sunburn? Because that means that's not the one that's going to cause the long-term damage.
I mean, yes and no, but luckily everything can be treated. Whether it is you do have more damage from UVA and it is aging, you would still be able to have a treatment and have products that will help with that. But yes, they're both going to cause a little bit of damage on the skin, unfortunately. So let me see what's outside here.
If both of those, like the damage that they cause, is it permanent, or will treatment be able to take it away?
The only reason why I would say it's kind of permanent is because you are always going to have sun exposure. However, if you are always using SPF, the skin will repair, it will get better. And at some stage, you may be able to get it to a state where, you know, you don't have any sun damage. That is possible over time, over time. So now I want to touch on back to what I was explaining before, which is another key point that sun protection is protecting us from is blue light. Now, with some sunscreens, it actually specifically says with blue light protection, but it doesn't need to highlight that because the ingredients in the physical sunscreen is protecting you from blue light, but you will see sometimes it does have a sticker saying that. And with blue light protection, it is a high visible light, high intensity visible light that causes oxygen radiation. And it is found in all devices such as laptops, TV, mobile phones, tablets, and computer. So this is referring to what you said before. If you're lying in bed and you're on your laptop or you're on your phone, at this point, I would advise that you still have your physical sunscreen on. If you are going to sleep, now you're going to sleep, then yes, do your skincare routine, wash it off, put your hydration on, and go to sleep. But if you're going to be on your phone, put this back on. Put this back on. A way that, you know, there's no way of really preventing blue light, but I know that in some smart devices, they have a feature on the phone where you can turn it down and adjust it. Yeah. Which helps a lot because as soon as we open up this device, we are getting that high energy visible light. But by using this, we are helping the skin.
So even if you're sitting at your computer inside in the shade, your skin is still getting UV. So
yes.
We've got a supporting video that I'm just going to flip to.
By Dr. Gupta.
Yes.
Dr. Gupta. And she explains a bit about blue light protection and blue light. Just come a bit to the side.
Did you know that screen is causing wrinkles on the skin? Hi, I'm Dr. Jyoti Gupta, consultant dermatologist, practicing in New Delhi, and I will be telling you about the effect of blue light on your skin. Remember the era when there were no lights, we were totally dependent on sun rays, and at night, melatonin hormone in our body ensured that we get a good sleep. This is called as circadian rhythm. Now, during use of artificial lights, known as light pollution, our nighttime has been reduced, leading to disruption of this rhythm. One of the major causes of this light pollution is blue light, which is emitted from screens of TV, phones, LEDs, electronics, and even sun. Blue light is practically similar to ultraviolet A light and is also called high energy visible light. So is all blue light dangerous? No. We were always getting some amount of it from sun rays, and that was good because it gave alertness, memory, and good mood. but excess of it can cause sleep disturbance, eye damage, and disruption of circadian rhythms. In a survey, almost 60% of urban population spends at least 6 hours a day staring at some kind of screen emitting blue rays, which is definitely excessive. Skin also has a circadian rhythm, and in day it protects you, but in the night it repairs all the damage. So if you are exposing yourself to light during nighttime, skin will think it's the daytime and will stop all the repair process. Also, if you're exposing yourself to blue rays in daytime, it is increasing oxidative stress on your skin, leading to less collagen in skin and causing premature wrinkles. It is also shown to cause pigmentation and dark spots like UVA light. So how can you prevent this damage? By simply avoiding blue light exposure, but that's easier to say than being done. Try to reduce the intensity of screen, but it should not cause any eye strain. Use headphones, because if you're keeping your phone like this, it is causing a lot of damage over here. Use blue filters if available on your phone. Avoid flash of your cameras. Use blue screen guards, which are readily available online. Minimize nighttime exposure. Use sunscreen with HUV protection, high energy visible light. Use repair cream rich in vitamin A and C. And even then, if you are experiencing premature aging changes,
Okay.
you can go for
Okay.
skin rejuvenation treatment like collagen induction therapies, pigment reduction lasers, skin booster. The list is endless and will have to be done under expert care only. Hopefully, this video will help in reducing one stressor in your life. Have a good sleep.
So just referring to what Dr. Cooper was saying, another way that we can really repair and maintain the skin from blue light is vitamin C. I know a lot of you have heard about vitamin C. It's very, it's very, very important that you make it a part of your skincare routine. It's something that you do straight after you cleanse your face. That will be the first serum or moisturizer that you apply on the skin. The reason why I advise vitamin C is going to help with the hyperpigmentation. It's going to repair the collagen in the skin, repair the elastin in the skin. And this is, what the blue light is targeting on the skin. This is what the blue light is damaging of the skin. So in order to maintain it, and, as we know, it's unavoidable, especially if you do work in an office. And even if you don't, you're on your phone at some point throughout the day. I would advise really including vitamin C into your routine, and that will really help.
Does it have to be externally applied or just taking vitamin C?
To be honest, orally is good as well. Internally is good as well. It depends. But actually, to be honest, I would still say use topical as well.
It
I
adds
would say
another
do both.
layer.
I would
Yeah.
say do both. Because from young we're having vitamin C in our oranges, but I feel we need to do both.
Yeah.
The way we're on our devices, we need to do both.
And then the fact that we also live in a climate where the sun is shining 24, every single day, we are exposed to a lot more sun exposure than, say, somebody who lives in the UK where it's cloudy and overcast. So we do need to take actually a little bit more preventative measures. So topical is, if you did a topical Vit C and then sunscreen during the day, you're having 2 layers of protection that help you. So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Has anyone got any other questions? They're thinking.
thinking.
It's a lot to.
I've heard from a doctor about vitamin C, but the opinions differ. That she just mentioned that it doesn't matter how much you take in, it quickly goes out of the body, right? So it's not going to make such a big impact as you would like.
Okay.
For example, by rather using it directly on your face.
Yes, because obviously if it's internal, then we have general waste, when we go to the toilet. So I think that's what she means by that. But there's no harm in doubling up.
Yeah.
And I think you asked because you might be a person who doesn't like to put too much products on and you want to keep it simple. Cleanser, moisturizer, SPF. And then in that case, having your vitamin C internally, there's nothing wrong with that. I prefer one way or the other than zero. than none.
What you're saying, because you know, alright, can SPF be used for skin hydration? Are you going to use lotion and SPF?
I would advise that you use both, but with physical sunscreen, it does contain an element of hydration, yes. But I still personally would advise both. I would advise using a hydration and then SPF.
But that's difficult to convince.
Yeah.
I mean, I've also tried to convince people, and they're like, why should I use both? I mean, I have this.
Yeah.
Because you,
Yeah.
you still need moisture in your skin. Remember, your
Because this is just for sun protection.
It's not for moisture.
It's not for moisturizer. It's
Yeah.
not for hydration, but
it's okay. Welcome.
it does contain some, but it's not for hydration. So that's the best way to kind of, you know, differentiate the two.
Okay, so for the ladies who just joined, you've actually caught us on the tail end, but just okay, yeah, but just to give you kind of like synopsis, we've been discussing sun protection and how to protect your protect your skin against UV radiation. Obviously, we discussed you know, wearing sunscreen throughout the course of the day, and we dived into the different types of sunscreen. On the handout we just gave you, there's some bullet points on that, but I think one of the key takeaways, which I don't know if you mind repeating, is UV sources from LED devices, because that's an area that very few people think about. So just for their sake, if you wouldn't mind just recapping that for them.
Yeah, so with SPF, with physical SPF, what the physical SPF is doing is protecting you from UVs. We have two forms of UVs, UVA, UVB. UVA is what causes the aging process in the skin, the fine line, the wrinkles, the loss of elasticity and collagen. The UVB is what causes the burning on the skin. But most importantly, we have a high visible light, which is called blue light. And sometimes with SPF, it does say with blue light protection, because zinc oxide protects you from blue light. So with SPF, it's going to protect you from that blue light radiation, oxygenized radiation. And we get this blue light from all our devices, tablets, phone, TV, computer. And the only way we can protect ourselves from the blue light is by using a physical SPF. With SPF, I do advise that you reapply. A lot of people think you just put SPF on in the morning and, you know, it's going to last the whole day. Unfortunately, SPF only lasts 2 hours. So you should be reapplying your SPF, if possible, every 2 hours. If you have it contained in your makeup, then, you know, reapply a little bit of makeup. There's many forms of SPF, you know, cream, gel, foam, spray. So, you know, any kind of consistency that suits your skin, I would like you to reapply. And most importantly, the factor, unfortunately, makeup, the factor is a bit low for what I would like you to use, which is like 15 or 20. Ideally, to really get some sort of protection on the skin, you should be having factor 30 minimum. Anything above that is a plus.
Is it necessary to apply it everywhere or just where it's exposed to the sun?
Ideally everywhere. And I tell you why. Especially if you're going to be wearing dark colored clothing, especially black, but even dark blue, navy blue, you know, dark color, dark gray, but especially black. The sun really attracts to dark colors. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this term, but for women, especially when you want to get a tan, you're going to wear a black bikini because it attracts the heat. Once you get a tan, then you get out the white bikini. Black, but have you attracts heat.
But have you ever noticed, okay, another example, cars. Have you ever noticed that a black car in the sun is harder than a white car in the sun?
Okay,
That's because white reflects the sunlight off of you, black holds it in. And so it's the same principle. So if you wanted to stay cooler during the summer, stay away from dark colors because those dark colors are absorbing the sunlight, whereas that white shirt that you have on right now is reflecting. So that's something to also just kind of factor in as you go through, especially the summer months when it's going to be extremely, extremely hot. The UV index is going to be even higher, and you know, you just want to stay cool as well. So
Yeah, definitely. And I would say, you know, back onto your question, daily, if you're going to wear a grey shirt and jeans, I still would advise you to put some SPF on your arms and legs. I would. If you can, put it everywhere, but yeah, because it's going to attract. Do you, like, even me with jeans, if I was, you know, just walking a short little walk, this is going to be hot. And so therefore it's still stimulating through the clothing, just a little bit, not as much as direct, but it's still going through the clothing, definitely. Definitely. So I would advise, yes, wearing it everywhere if possible.
So that kind of like summarizes our talk. We are, like I said, we are an advanced facial boutique. So we do facials. But if you do see anything that looks like out of the norm on your skin, like whether it's like a mole or whether it's just something that looks odd, we
Pimple.
highly
Sorry,
recommend
pimple.
Yeah, pimple that's just, you know, looking displaced or just abnormal. We highly recommend that you don't avoid it. Like, you don't just think it'll go away. You definitely get it checked out, because skin cancer is a very prevalent form of cancer, and people, if it gets detected early, it's a 95% chance that you'll be fine, you know? So that's why we do encourage people to obviously still be in touch with your dermatologists, and get things checked out. We just try to educate people about how to take care of themselves as best we can. You know what I mean? But there is still obviously the need for medical advice. But our goal is to just kind of help educate you a bit more about skincare, treatments, what works for you, and make recommendations based on that. So we hope that you found today's chat on skin protection from sun protection. I don't know why I've been stumbling on that all day. Sun protection, informative and helpful. So just so you know what we offer in line with sun protection, we're the exclusive providers of Illumier MD products in Cayman. Illumier MD is a cosmeceutical brand product. So it is on the line, same line as like Obagi or Zoe Skin Health. So it has a ton more active ingredients than anything you can pick up at, you know, Kirk, Freeport, or the supermarket. It had.
What level is it?
This one's 42, factor 42.
That one's 42. We also carry a factor 40. All of ours are untinted because we like to cater to all skin types. So that's why we carry untinted, so that, you know, we can reach a wider audience of people. And then we do offer collagen inducing treatments, which obviously will help you in the battle against UV radiation. So we offer microneedling, as well as LED light therapy treatments, and these help stimulate the collagen generation from within. So those treatments, along with a good at-home skincare regime, can really help not only help you age well and look better, but protect you from the elements. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it for us. We will be doing a skin scan consultations inside, because we do have an HD skin scanner, which can take pictures of, you basically put your face in it and it does 10 images of what's happening under the surface of your skin. So then we can tell you if you've got hyperpigmentation, or if you've got lines forming, or if your skin's dehydrated. We can just give you a better assessment of what's happening on your face, and then, you know, give you advice on treatments or products that you can use to help you aid in, you know, treating those or getting your skin to where you want it to be. We're doing that inside between 1 and 2. So if you would like to participate, you're welcome to. If you can't do it today, we do offer we're offering a 20% off discount if you did want to book your appointment for next week and to come to us to do it. So that's an option as well. And I think that's basically about it, unless anyone has any questions specifically about today's presentation or about Fancy Face Skin Clinics.
I have a question. I don't know if this came up
Mm.
on that back and forth, but we talked about this, you know, this filming our public lecture. Also subscribe to.
I appreciate
it.
Click the bell and
Subscribe here.
but one of the things that I brought up was that it's this myth that people of color you know, and especially the darker you are, you don't need sunscreen.
Mhm.
And this is something that I'm sure you've heard this, you know, right, in Jamaica and even back home in the States. It's one of those things where I have never in my entire life worn sunscreen until I had the scan with them.
So I learned much earlier than you, but I was of that misconception
Yeah,
my formative years. I learned,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So maybe you could touch a little bit on that.
Yes, so the reason why it's important is because, you know, we do have myelocytes in the skin. People of color have more myelocytes in the skin, and this is what really attracts the sun. So the more melanin you have in the skin, the more you are actually at risk of burning. And I think that's where the misconception comes in place. But you know, visibly, sometimes for people of color, the damage isn't happening on the surface, but the damage is still happening on the other layers of skin, the dermis, the second layer of skin, the dermis. Whereas on a fairer person, it might be, you can see it a bit more straight away. It doesn't mean it's not happening. It's actually happening more because, you know, we have a lot of sun exposure. And like I said, the more darker you are, the more you're attracting the heat. So it's very important, everyone of all ethnic backgrounds is using SPF to protect the skin. Definitely.
I have a question. You may have covered it, but I may have missed it.
Yeah.
I heard you say something about the blue light.
Yes.
Which UV works for the blue light, or is that a specific ingredient that that you require in a sunscreen in order to
So the blue light is contained more in UVA, but with physical sunscreen, it protects you from UVA and UVB. And the main ingredient that is doing that is a zinc oxide or titanium dioxide. Any kind of oxides is what is targeting with that. And the same with the blue light. That's what's helping with the blue light.
Also, just for clarity for your purposes, because I'm not sure if you caught this. So in terms of the differences in sunscreen, like Hawaiian Tropic is a chemical sunscreen, right? It does not contain zinc, which is what is the protective element. Whereas mineral sunscreens like Illumia MD are just, you know, created by doctors. They almost always have zinc for that reason. So honestly, zinc is what you really want to be looking for in products, because that mineral adds the protective element from the sun. Now, tidbit for people of color with zinc, because zinc is a mineral, it's like chalk, right? So, and we hear this a lot in our clinic because people don't want to put on sunscreen because it makes them look chalky, okay? That chalkiness is actually a good thing, people. That's what's protecting you. Sunscreens that don't have that chalkiness, they don't add that layer of protection. So what we found as a tip, just to help people get over that hurdle of, especially people of color, wanting to put on sunscreens with zinc on it, is literally just to warm it up in their hands, like before, and then apply it. Because if you just apply it straight, it will leave that kind of chalkiness on you.
That kind of blue tint.
Yeah. And that's just because of, you know, the color of our skin. You know, somebody who's fairer does not have to worry about that. It'll just blend right in. But just because we obviously have color,
don't worry,
Yeah.
I'm white and it still happens.
but that's a good thing. So don't, but I'm saying you want that because it adds that protective element. So zinc is actually your friend.
The oxide, that's what the guy did.
The zinc oxide, yeah.
The zinc oxide, that's like the protective element, and
Yes.
it's mineral.
Yes.
So the chemical ones, how are they protecting you?
Because they contain oxybenzo, and that ingredient is still protecting you from the sun rays.
Which is
Oh, so
why
that's another.
Mhm.
Okay, because I guess maybe how it was said before.
That's not doing any protection
Yeah,
at all.
yeah,
Okay,
no, yeah.
okay.
because remember, your face is the one part of your body that is always on display, you know, whereas you can you're protecting your skin with clothing and other parts of it. So your skin, your face, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Your face requires a little, you know, it requires more protection than, you know, the sunscreen that you would put on your body.
Another key point as well with the physical sunscreen, sometimes you can use a little bit too much. A little does go a long way. And just, yeah, really rub it in first, and then you will notice the difference. Rub it in and not using too much. Still covering, full coverage, but sometimes when you use a little bit too much, you get that blue. And when you're not warming it up enough, you get that really blue tint as well.
I have another question that probably some people don't really think about, but those machines that you put your hands in when you're getting gel nails and stuff, those have UV light. And that probably causes some kind of skin damage as well, right? I don't
Yes.
think a lot of people think about that, but
A lot of
I-
people don't think about that. It's been really highly promoted on social media now. I've seen it quite a lot. But most importantly, the one area that is missed where people are not putting SPF is the hands.
Mhm.
People forget. And the hands are getting a lot of sun exposure. In and out of your bag, driving, on the steering wheel, you know, anywhere. Your hands are on display just as much as your face. So remember to put some SPF on your
Yeah.
hands as well.
Because your hands can actually age you just as much as your face.
What
too,
you will
like,
see a lot
yeah.
of people's hands is
Yeah,
aging.
yeah. Sometimes, and
Little
there's a
wrinkles.
mismatch. Like if you've gotten Botox and dermal fillers on your face and your
From
hands
getting
are,
the nails done.
yeah.
Honestly, I thought about that because you put your hands in the machines and I'm like, this must not be good for your skin. So now if I ever do it, I'm probably gonna put sunscreen on before I.
Put sunscreen on, and definitely, you know, they have a lot of hand masks. You can get vitamin C hand mask. So I would advise popping that on once a week. That will help.
So would anybody like to take advantage of the skin scan that we are doing?
I did one with you guys already.
Oh.
My company.
Yeah.
You guys came to Campbell's
Yes.
months ago, so I'm okay, but.
What's the purpose of the skin scan?
It tells you what's happening under the surface of your skin and kind of educates you on what is happening in multiple different areas. Like we can tell you if you've got, you know, sun damage, if your skin's dehydrated, if you've got too much acne causing bacteria, if you're forming wrinkles. So basically,
Skin cancer?
unfortunately, no, but ours is, yeah,
Unfortunately, no. But we can see the levels of sun damage that you have on the skin.
How long does it take?
15 minutes.
Yeah, about 15 minutes.
I'm looking at the top.
If you can't do it today, like I said, we are offering, extending a discount to everyone in Cricket Square who attended or watched the live stream.
Where are you located?
Well, we are currently, we're moving into Caymanian Village in June. So in 2 weeks, we will be in Caymanian Village right next to Island Taste, unit number 8. But we're temporarily out of a retail of an event space on Shedden Road, at 150 Shedden Road next to One Capital Place on the 2nd floor. But yeah, going forward in June, we will be in Caymanian Village right next to Island Taste. We're here until 2.
You did yours already?
Yeah, he did a whole video. You didn't hear him?
Video, but you did
Oh,
your
that's what
thing?
that was? Yeah, he did it.
He did a whole
Yes,
thing.
he
He,
had his scan.
he had his scan and filmed it.
He had the breakdown.
And he brought products too. He's a great ambassador.
Oh,
Mhm.
that they have-
If you would like to purchase some products, some sunscreen,
You can always have a little sample of this one.
yeah, you can take a sample of that one. Or yeah, if you want to top up on sunscreen, you're
Okay.
welcome to. If you want to top up on any product, actually, because we brought some.
So
All
I
right.
got the cleanser, the face cleanser, the moisturizer, and sunscreen.
Yes,
Highly recommend.
yes.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the advice.
No problem. If you do have any questions, I would advise that you can WhatsApp us, email, because it's a lot of information to intake, and I'm not expecting you to remember anything.
Yes.
I can give you contact information.
But I will say Instagram is honestly one of our
And
best
Instagram.
portals because we literally live on
And
Instagram. And so we take DMs. We also WhatsApp, like if you had somebody who had questions or, you know, anything of the like, you can WhatsApp us. So all of our information is on the website, actually. So yeah, feel free to reach out.
numbers on the website.
We will be getting new branding once we move into the new location with the new address. So a website is basically where we're navigating we're guiding everybody towards at the moment.
It's on the website.
Thank you.
Thank
You're
you. Thank you
welcome.
for coming. Thank you
You're
so much,
welcome.
Carly.
You're welcome.